everybody, it's HowlinKnight here, and we're going to be playing some Oxygen Not Included. As you can see, I do have my own playthrough going. I want to do a couple quick disclaimers as we start a new game together here. Firstly, we're not doing survival. I am not good enough. I know I'm not good enough. I struggle with the no sweat version. So we won't be doing that. Second disclaimer is that I am the kind of person that eventually I'll reach a point, which currently seems to be about 250 to 300 cycles, where I just flub everything and I have to restart, and I take what I learned the last time and try again. This bothers some people, like my significant other. I'm sure doesn't love it so much, but it's the best way that I've learned for me to play, because that's just, it helps my brain better. So we're gonna cycle through this. We're going to be doing a spaced out version, and we're gonna pick one of these things and kind of go from there, I think. So let's just cycle this a bunch of times. Sorry if I end up coughing or anything. I don't know what is going on, but I've picked up a cough the last few days. It's very inconvenient. Oh, we like all the metal, but our frozen friend could be kind of useless. I think we'll do this one. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna hit start game together here. While it's loading, you can probably see on the screen here that it doesn't full screen all the way properly for me, for whatever reason. And so I've opted to use some of the artwork I made for the opening and kind of put it behind there. And I kind of like how it looks. I'd love for you to tell me what you think. Now, we're going to firstly name this. I actually don't mind Deadly, but, well, let's see what we can get. Let's not. We are going to put it as YouTube is our second. So, like, if we took Uncomfortable, it'll be Uncomfortable YouTube. So that I don't play the wrong one when I'm home alone doing nothing. Uncomfortable YouTube sounds weird. The sticky YouTube? Underground YouTube? Dangerous YouTube. The Incredible we're gonna do that one. The Incredible YouTube. Now the plan for this is, oh, another disclaimer. I have mods. I fully have mods, which allows me to come in here and do some changes. We will be trying to not do that too much. Bar like a very important dupe dying, we're probably not going to touch that very often. We are playing with more than just that mod as well, so that's also worth noting. So we'll need a builder, we're going to need a digger, and I like grabbing an operator before we get a researcher, because you're going to need the operator to keep your batteries going, which keeps your oxygen going, which then allows your researcher to do things. So we're going to make sure to get an operator, and honestly, that looks like a pretty good operator. So we're going to take you, and we come to the front of her name here. Operator. We spelled it correctly this time. Score. Let's see. Can't cook. Doesn't care about food too much. That sounds great. Digger Frankie. And we do this so that we know what their roles are in-game. We don't want to be having to think about what it is they do. Builder Steve. Sounds good to me. We don't want to think about that too much once we're actually in and doing stuff, because it gets a little harder. I say harder. It gets tricky to tell them apart for what job you picked them up for if you don't put some kind of note somewhere in their name. It's not impossible, but it's inconvenient. So now we're going to embark on our trip. While it loads, we're going to try to limit these episodes to about an hour to an hour and a half at most. You may not fully agree with me on things that I do, and that's okay. You may even have tips or things you've learned, and I would love to hear them. I would even love to hear the disagreements. So please leave a comment at any time, and let me know what you're thinking of the series, if you want more of it, if you want less of it, and we'll go from there. For the most part, these are going to be fairly unedited. There may be a couple episodes where I end up editing out where we spent way too much time just planning a build, because I do that, and doing a whole lot of nothing. So there may be times where some of the recording is not there, but I will do my absolute best to forewarn everyone when that's happening. All right. So first things first, pause. We go and we make new schedules. I make 3. We want to make sure they have shift alarms. And for lack of creativity, you are welcome to suggest what we should be calling each of these shifts. For now, they're going to be A, B, and C. We want each guy on their own. There we go. And we're going to just cancel out all this. It's all work. We work all the time now. That's not true, but for the moment. All right, so we got 3 bedtime, and for now, 2 downtime. What we're going to be doing is something more close to this. So now we're going to have, should be able to put 1 in between each of these, if I remember correctly. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, nope, we're gonna have some overlap. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bedtime. We don't really want overlap if we can avoid it. And bedtime. Work. Kind of want them to line up. There we go. So that somebody's always doing something. We don't want it to overlap too much. As we go on, we will have extra dupes in each of these. For now, they're going to have very limited time. They're going to see each other when they're working. That's our plan. We don't want them to have that much downtime this early. Downtime allows them to go to the bathroom, do sleep, do any of the things they need to do. Food, all of that. So you don't really need bath time as its own thing. You can use it, but you don't necessarily need it. Oh, sorry, taking a drink. So we did that. Now, we're going to go in here. I have been given a priority thingies mod. I understood the last one, but this one is supposed to, I guess, fix. I don't fully understand, but fix the priority things. There's always a point where I reach where at least one of my dupes will have, like, the top priority in their skill set, and they will go do, like, tidying, which is set to nothing for them. And it's very confusing, even if that thing, when you are going through, and there we go. And we're going to have you as a 1 for these tasks here. Everyone gets to life support. Everyone gets toggling. Eventually, I will come through and close out all of the other things they're not supposed to do. For now, this will do. Now, supposedly, from what I understand, they're going to go from, normally, they'd go from here to this side, doing whatever one appears as the highest priority first, and, like, keeps doing that, but it doesn't always seem to work. I don't understand why. I don't get paid enough to understand why, realistically. So, Let's see. We're gonna make this. Start there. Yep, that's 16. So we're gonna need 16 and 16. Oh, is that a hydrogen? That is a hydrogen. New plan? No, wait, because even if I build a wall here, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're gonna keep that. Alright, I'm gonna let them dig a little so we have some materials. Okay. This episode we might get the least amount done, as this is the starting episode. We're gonna talk a lot more. We're gonna be having to set up a lot of this. This will be room 1. Oh, I did it wrong. Hold on. Alright. This is why it's so important to math this out correctly. We don't want that hydrogen in the base, so that has to be our end. Plus you're getting into like warmer environment over there. Water really close to us is also an issue. So let's just take a second here. We are going to... This is a door. That's a door. We're going to be really cutting it close, but I think it'll be okay. Because this will be a door. At some point. Oops. Okay, click. Yes, we know we don't have enough. Oops, I took that too far down. Too far down. There we go. This will be our other exit. At some point. We're going to want a ladder. So we can get up to the next level. And we need to think about this. The water's going to be on this side of our map, clearly. So we're going to put our bathroom on this side. That'll be the very next floor. So we need to... Nope. 4 by... There we go. We want to leave the oxalate. This is free oxygen. So we want to leave that as much as possible. My mouse setting is for heroes at the moment, and makes it a little too sensitive for me here. And as you can see, we don't have any of the materials, or we've run out, rather, for these things. That's okay. We have a mod on that allows me to kind of plan this out at least. Now we're going to need to cancel that one. Just for now. So that should allow us to get in here. Now, before we let them get back to it, as helpful as this is not our high priority. We need them to come upstairs so we can start building our bathroom. So what we're going to do is, this early on we can use a 9. We're going to tell them this. This is your important priority right now. Okay, that's your important priority. You guys can finish out this area later. Now this should start to shift them from digging this up to putting it over here. So now we gotta wait for the builder to build, so my digger's gonna do other stuff while he waits. I'm getting that oxygen in here. So while they're doing that, we're going to take a quick moment to... Oh, we got a cold biome right above us. That's cool. I hope there is a slush geyser of some kind up there. We don't get... We got mild warm over here. We get really hot on this side. So we kind of don't want to pop this open until we can do something about that heat. To the detriment of how we're going to build, even. Operators poorly sleeping on the floor, unfortunately. We're so sorry, Little Miss Operator. Normally, I'd be putting our bedrooms right here. I think we're still going to. It's just going to be a little awkward. Okay. So we come under furniture. We're going to grab... Let's see, we're going to pick one of these together here. I think we're going to be stargazers this game, guys. At least until later in our game. We're going to place them 2 apart from each other. I'm going to still try to leave that temperature buffer for now, so we can stay kind of temperate. Dig up the sand that fell. And we gotta be watching this, because this, as you can see, it's going down. We want to be able to put the new floor in as soon as that's done. Ooh, entombed. Oh, I see. Dig that up, please. So we're gonna come here and we're gonna tell it everything you can eat goes in there. So this will be priority 8. So when they're done building this, that's going to be their next thing. Can't put it there, so we'll put that one there. And let's see, sink. Sink, toilet. Ideally, you're gonna have, oh, I shouldn't have placed that there. You're gonna have 1 bathroom for the amount of dupes per schedule. So right now, technically we could get away with 1 and call it a day because each schedule has 1 dupe. I like to prepare and have at least 3. For now, we're going to just tell them to build 2 because they can't even get to the water they need yet. Which will be soon. Let's see. We're going to want a pneumatic door there. It's going to make that a room. And I need to cancel that for now. We're going to use a door for this. So what I'm doing here is I'm making a carbon dioxide room. What this allows to have happen and what you can use it for, we will be using it for later, is a recycling room. So all of the carbon dioxide is going to come down this way and into this room and accumulate. I'm going to put an air pump in here later that pushes the carbon into a canister, and all of the oxygen is going to come back up into the base. That's our current plan for this space here. Let's tell you to lower that. You should be able to reach this. We have a build that should make this reachable, but because you did for some. I'll just put these in. 9 for all of that. We messed up because we forgot to put the door in. There we go. Now, I typically don't like to break out yet, but I think we kind of need to. So we're going to make a small stairway here so that we can just place this in. This will be temporary. We're going to make an actual water tank and water recycle area, so like polluted water will be able to get turned into fresh water. Builder Steve found some food. Sorry, I now have the hiccups. Oh, if it can inconvenience you, it will. Alright, so now we're going to deconstruct, add a 9. I feel like we can get away with leaving these at a 5. So this is just telling us we don't have water yet. We know, it's over there. Deconstruct. Deconstruct. Oh, wait. Cancel. Don't deconstruct that one yet. There we go. Builder Steve is going to sleep in the bathroom. Which, fair enough, I suppose. Because they haven't gotten around to making the beds yet. So you can see here, it says no oxygen generator has been built. They're not wrong. I haven't. What they're thinking is like this. And that's probably what we're doing too. Eventually I'm going to have a fire pole here, so we don't want to put it there. We don't have a lot of space left over on this side, so I'll probably put it here with the running wheel there. And as we're not super ready to break into that, we'll cancel that area. Here comes Steve, unhappy because his back hurts. And he really needs to potty. So now these will be a 9. And any future builds we do will need to be a 8. So we need to set that. And we'll want to drop this to a 7. And we'll leave that too. We kind of want to trap the sandbug in here. It makes them happier. Frankie says, yay, there's a toilet. He's still got his little frown. He's unrested because it was too bright somehow. Builder Steve. I'll get around to finishing that up. And we're already to the halfway point. So when you break the oxalite, it does just drop here on the floor and continue. Let's see if I can... Oh, there it was. It does just keep, you see, emitting oxygen. So you don't lose it by letting it drop on the floor, but it is a little inconvenient. We'll place our second one of these. That'll be for our digger. We've made it to cycle number 2. Good job, digger. Look at him go. Poor Miss Ellie sleeping on the floor again. Now, because we've finished this, this should tell us that it is a room. See? So they get a morale bonus for coming in. The shine bug helps. And they'll have a morale bonus when they sleep in here. Now, this will be more important later in the game, but also when you're not playing the not stressful one. I've already forgotten. When you're playing standard, this becomes something you have to balance a lot more closely. Thankfully, we're not having that issue because of the fact we play the casual. Which I'm not smart enough to move on to standard yet, so. We need to tell them this is also, I think what we're actually going to do is have everything set to an 8. And no, because we got the emergency. That's the emergency button. I think a 9's actually right. 9. Okay. So now Frankie, despite it not being his job, is going to take some water up to the sink. So we have some clean dupes. While our builder is stuck in water for a second, very unhappy, we're going to take a moment to think about where we want to build stuff. So we're going to have a small chamber here for a canister. That's fine. Don't need a big chamber. The canister is about 3 blocks wide. Like the canister holder, rather, filler. So that's only about 3 blocks. So what we're going to do, grab this. I'm going to make, I think, a 4 wide room. That gives us this. We need a farm. That's going to be really important. You want your farm to not get too cold or too hot, which over here. I don't know where my little cheat sheet went at the moment, but I had made myself a little cheat sheet. Let me see if I can find it. It's, there it is. Okay. I got a little cheat sheet here that helps me know what creatures can be where, like temperature-wise and stuff, and what they do, and what our basic plants are going to do. Which, all of this is actually very important to know. Because if your plants get too hot, don't have the right gases, they won't grow. Oh yay, we got the good ones. We wanted this one. There's a polluted slush geyser too. I like the salt one better. I like the salt one because I don't have to figure out the desalinizer, which takes the salt out of the water, the brine rather, and makes normal water, doesn't seem to break as easily as the polluted oxygen one does. So we're gonna have to, oh, we have a natural gas geyser too. That can be used as a power source later. It's gonna be a little warm though. So you can see in the temperatures here, that's hot. We want this one. We're gonna have to put that probably over here, which is unfortunate because that seems to be our warmest spot. I've learned that this is just not warm enough. It turns green very quickly. So you want something kind of hot. Now with this geyser over here, that might be false because the gas geyser can make this whole area hot. And if we bring the cold water over here to heat up, they can balance each other, which might be how we approach it. Let's check the germs first. Never mind. This slime lung is a pain to deal with. We could prioritize doctors since we have pretty sure everything we need over here for it. Chlorine gas would help clear it out. Chlorine gas is great for getting rid of bugs in general, like germs in general, which is why normally we put it in our polluted oxygen for wherever our toilets get emptied, which is something we actually have to consider building sooner rather than later. So we're going to move all of this water into a container over here somewhere. Probably literally right here. And we'll have a polluted one next to it. This is what I mean by having it paused for ages planning and thinking about this. So when we look at rooms, we're going to scroll down here to greenhouse. Max you can have is 96 tiles. Now we could put some farms here and have our smaller one over here be stables. Or we could put our farms here and eventually build the stables on this side. And leave this row for machines. I think that's what I'm going to do. I call it a refining room because all it'll have in here is things like under this tab and a couple of the stations, which you don't have right now. Trying to think about this. We do need the second bed put in. Or, sorry, the fourth bed put in. My brain's working. I swear it is. We could just put it here. We gotta make sure we get a dupe that does not sleep loudly. Stargazer, please. Here we go. And if the water's here, eventually we're gonna have... We need the research room. We need a doctor's office, which will need plumbing. A kitchen and a cafeteria in here. That's our plan for in here. And you need this and the doctor's office split by 1. So we'll put the research here, the dining hall here. Cooks will be on top of the dining. Maybe I'll reverse that. And then the doctor's office in line with the toilets because it makes getting my pipes in a lot nicer. So let's go ahead and tell them, hey, you guys gotta come over here. Let's start building this room for me. Which will give us some more copper, which we do need. Okay. So we want that built, and we're going to put that at an 8, because what he's doing doesn't actually matter. I guess leaving that as a 7 isn't the worst. I'm going to have to double check that my mods are all installed properly here. As you can see, my digger's able to do one sideways. That's what we're planning to do here. We're going to dig this one up and then put in the wall so that this doesn't come into the base. That's the plan. Anyway, whether or not it works, whole new ballgame. Now, where do we want to put the water? We need a oxygen trapping door, because all of this oxygen is very good for us to have and very finite at the moment. So we want an oxygen trapping door. We need to put in our diffuser, a Manual generator with some battery and basic wires. So they'll then need to go up and over, because this will be our research room. Okay. Yep. Now let's just think about this. Gonna want to drop the water, I think, to down here. It's a lot of squares in between. That might be unnecessary. We're gonna do it. We're gonna leave it that way. I think 4 in between is fine. We're gonna leave it. So what I normally do for these rooms, for the tank itself, top 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. We try to keep it the same size we would the normal rooms we go to. Alright. Now, this is where it gets trickier. I need to see 10, 11, 12. Okay. Is that too big? Maybe we shrink it to a 10. So we have plenty of... I don't know. I think 12 actually is better. I think the 12 is better because we're going to have the geysers to drop water from. We might do a 10 for the polluted water. And we'll definitely only be doing, I believe it's 6 to 8 for our Paku farm, which will also live in polluted water at some point. So now we're going to build this up. This is the room. This will be our top line. Everything below it is where the water goes, which we don't have a lot of ways to denote that right now. But I think we're going to pick that up by that. And we're going to take this ladder down to here. Actually, cancel. That's high enough. Can't take out the dirt. Okay. What we're gonna do now, get a ladder. There we go. We want them to come in here and start to dig this out, because this is where our water is gonna go. We gotta do it carefully, because the sand just falls. So we can dig that one. We can't dig this one. Make this straight line. And put in our ladder. Important ladder. This is a floor. 2, 3, 4. That'll be a floor. Okay. Technically we want that like that. Eventually we will tell them to come in here and mop this up. Same with this water and this water, because we have a mod that allows us to mop anything we want. That's not the priority. Alright. Let's let them do some stuff. We wasted a good amount of time talking about that and thinking about it there. Though I don't know if I fully consider it a waste. It's just what we did. So this water we may not have to mop. If we do this right, we build this ladder over after the wall is built, we can just simply allow it to drain in here and then mop up any that's left. Same with this. Technically, I can just pop a hole here when this is built and drop it in. So the water we'll actually have to worry about is down here. Which temporarily, we're going to put a ladder in and get a new pitcher pump set up. So that way our dupes, when we take this one away, we'll still have somewhere to put that. So let's see. He's building the wires first. Which, this is what I mean by a little weird. Because they're a 5 and that's an 8. And vastly different, but okay. So he's got a 7 already. So we're going to tell him... Well, we're going to set this up correctly. We're going to set this to be an 8. Because we want him to build the walls and flooring first. You don't want this dipping out somewhere. And then I guess 8 would make sense for ladders. But this, that's all a 6. And we have 7. Same with these dig orders down here. And we're going to build that up to an 8. Okay. Builder Steve, this is the area you're supposed to be doing. Unreachable dig. Well, that's because you haven't... I see. Never mind. We can't blame our Builder Steve for Digger Frankie is on nap time. Oh boy. This is exactly what we didn't want happening. But sometimes dupes are... I say sometimes. They are just genetic ooze. They don't have a brain. So what happens sometimes is that they will drop down somewhere and start building behind them. Which I actually think we have to make this a... Hey, this is unfortunately important. Come rescue this dumbass. Yeah, I know she's suffocating. She's, There we go. Oxygen has been found. That's exactly what we didn't want to happen, but it does happen from time to time. Because they start doing whatever they want. It's unfortunate, but it's fine. Not the worst thing to ever happen. My builder's like, oh yay, I can come up here now. So he's going to start focusing on what we actually want him focusing on. And, actually, blueprints. We have some interesting, so let's look at them. We got this one for dinosaurs. I don't think I like that one. At least not here. Why don't we do retro? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we're going to do that as our theme in the house here. Stars and retro. Because we got it for the research station as well. So it should be this, 1, 2, 3, our next station, 1, 2, 3, our last station. All right, 1, 2, 3, and then the next one's, this one's 4, 1, 2, 3. Nope. That's not it. Cancel build. There we go. Normally, I didn't build these wrong, right? Like, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 1, 2, 3 for space. The next thing, I think, is 3. 1, 2, 3, and then this one. Yeah, so it should be fine here. And if nothing else, well, you can always rearrange things. You can have them deconstructed. Which is what's going to happen to this stuff in here. And as you can see, while they're busy, we're gonna click on this. What did we get? A new a flower pot. Bold retro. Well, that really fits with what we're doing. We don't have any of it unlocked, and I can't show you under research where it is, but once we get a researcher, that'll change. Oh, look, a little hatch. This is good. These will be part of our food source later. And we're going to go ahead and clear new. And we want to track coal. Eventually hatch eggs. Our dirt. And our algae at this point. These are what we're going to want to watch. We don't need to watch hatch eggs. These three are what we need to watch for now. We want coal up as high as possible. We want algae as high as possible. For algae makes our oxygen in the diffuser, which will be a short-term solution. Eventually we will be taking some of the water, turning it into oxygen, and pumping it into the system. Which, as you can see, we're kind of not able to set up where we want that. Now oxygen moves up and to the left, while carbon moves down and to the right. These are important things to note because it helps you know where you're going to want to stick your air shaft thingies. I usually try to do them somewhere near this door system so that it gets both sides. Realistically could put it over here. I do usually like a shower in our bathroom. We only ever give the dupes one, and that would kind of get in the way there. But we will figure it out together. We'll see how we feel about it. You guys dug out areas you didn't need to. Good job. And you can see they're holding their breath because this is just carbon dioxide. There's not breathable air down here. Which that's okay. Good job, Builder Steve. Operator Ellie is on break. Digger Frankie is looking for stuff to do. He sounded like he was walking on metal to me. But this is made of stone. He's still holding his breath because we are running out of oxygen. So what we want to do is tell them, hey, I know I said you didn't need to build this super fast last time, but I actually want this first. Actually, we're going to put it at a 9. We're going to put this at a 9. This part's fine. We don't need it to go up this high because we don't have our researcher yet, but this part's got to get done. The diffuser needs to be a 9. This needs to be higher so that way our operator can get running and get this supplied. And there you go. Builder's on it. And these will be the only two things powered in here for now. And we're going to want to relocate this shine bug. Oh, I guess not because the door's not open. Built in yet, but okay. That will help Builder Steve reach the ceiling. And in between episodes, I will look into why he can't reach this, because he should be able to with one of the mods we have. Since we have all this open, Might as well put a couple of these in so we can start cleaning up our floors. Good job, Operator Emily. This will be an 8. And we want you to refill it at, I think 60 should be a good spot. Oops. I want you to come over when it's down to 60 and start telling it, hey, fix yourself. Relocate that to up here, please. This shine bug is going to die relatively soon. He's not going to make another egg. But in order for this room to count as a room for our research guy, hiccup, sorry. Laboratory needs a light source. We'll also need our second science building, which will be placed right here, and it'll be fine. For now, it'll just have that and the one light source. There we go. And we want to tell it no eggs. Frankie just eating on top of a stair. So she's delivering sandstone to these locations here. And we're not going to mop this up because, despite it being cold and making them chilly, we're not mopping this up because of the fact that we actually want the water down here. Oh, wait, we don't. We do want that mopped. Okay. Gonna have to mop. Because we want them to mop before they break this tile. Okay, no more water coming in. Mop that up. So she should be coming down. Yep. She's a little chilly, but that's okay. Good job, Ellie. We're very proud of you. We don't want the water getting dropped down here when we're going to need it in the bucket, so. Now he's working on this because this doesn't require a digger while he waits for our digger to come do some digging tasks. And once we can reach this, once this water is gone, we're going to be sticking a second layer of floor here, making this one only 3 instead of 4. This will become our eventual cemetery because, let's be real, at some point you're going to lose some dupes. You're going to lose some dupes. And that is okay. You just plan accordingly. So this will be a 2-layer, and then the graves will be down here. Time for Builder Steve to go eat. I don't look at any of these tutorials. I don't find them helpful. I'm sorry. Maybe you guys can play and teach me some things yourself by having looked at those tutorials. Might as well clear those. You're going to be clearing all of that. Okay, so I want to put it as an 8 for the ladders. 6 for everything else. And while we're not currently going to have door problems, any built doors that we have and the oxygen diffuser, we want those at 9. We want those kinds of tasks, like I would tell them, you need to lock this door down. We want them to come do that immediately. Now you can just tell them straight out, nobody can pass this. And then you could say, the operator can, right? And individually do it. This is unnecessary at this time, but it's an option. So now this is making what we need, but we need this stuff built. Because we're about to be... So we're going to up this to a 7. We're about to be getting a new dupe. Let's see where we are. Because we are almost out of time here. We got beds and baths. Is that it? That's the only one we got. There's plenty of... I want to call them milestones instead of achievements, but they're considered achievements. This tells you how many dupes you have and how old they are. How many buildings. You can see the time lapse. It takes little screenshots, it seems. We are not making enough oxygen to be calculated. We're not making any calories. But we have started making power, so that just suddenly spiked. We are consuming oxygen. We are consuming food. We have wasted power. Oops. Which, that's kind of to be expected until later. They're working. Travel time has gone up, but they're fine. The amount of dupes we still have. So, there you go. Total travel time versus average, which puts them about here. It's not bad. Stress created. We had a momentary stress jump, but it's dropped. We're removing plenty of stress. We have some wild critters about, but no domesticated ones yet. And that's okay. We'll get them. So now we can check our oxygen again. As you can see, most of our oxygen is really thin. We need somewhere for this carbon to be going. So we're going to dig that out. And we need a door to trap our oxygen inside. Good job, Digger. I wish you would do this while you're here, but it is what it is. Now we could pop this open to get more oxalate. I'd rather not, personally. She's delivering sandstone. We got, what's this? Sand. Normal sand. Which it's used for something. Oh! Later on. It's used later on. We'll just get to that when we get there. Yeah, look at our cool slush geyser. So what we're going to do is we'll have a door here, the ceiling, and then make a pool under it instead of above it, because once it gets covered it stops working. We'll put a pump and stuff in here at some point. Little pockets of clean but cold, polluted water. And it looks like that's where my uranium's gonna come from. It's up here in the cold. That's the farthest away from my base it's ever been. Fascinating. Ellie's going to sleep. And we went over our time just a little here, but I'm gonna wait for this printing pod so we can pick our scientists together. That's what we're waiting on here. So it looks like midday here. 0.2 cycles. Our actual time played is less than an hour. We're getting close. Do we have any bathroom blueprints? Nope. Good job, Steve. I think once we get this wall in, or this door rather, it'll be, our oxygen will be okay again. But that'll be for next episode. Well, while we wait for this researcher to get here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to ask you guys that if you have a moment and you want to support the channel, I would really, really appreciate it if you all could go over to my online shop. I've made all the designs, put them on products, and are selling them. The money goes towards helping out here. It goes to helping on the channel in general. It goes to helping at home. So everything can keep running. And I would be very, very appreciative if y'all could take a look. The link will be both on the screen at the end and down in the description below. So you guys could do that for me. And look at that. Here comes our first thing here. So, none of these are all that great. But we do need a researcher. So we're going to make Mima. And I wanted to show you guys how this mod works anyway. So we're going to make Mima into a researcher. We're going to give her... I think we're going to give her this. Reduce... We can't afford a mouth breather at the moment. We're gonna make you biohazardous. That seems fun. So now we're gonna name this researcher. Oops. Mima. Old lady's gonna be smart. Make sure she is assigned to her bed. Now when in contact with radiation, she will, which the glow bug counts, she will be a little glow stick, you see? She glows. So now before we leave, she's gonna be on the builders. That's fine. Her priority is researching. Right now she doesn't have anything else to do because the station's not made, so she's gonna just do whatever. She comes with a skill point. As you can tell, everybody else we're still building up the XP. She comes with her first one, which we're gonna go ahead and give her, and her hat. Okay. But we are gonna leave it right there. Mima's gonna go get her hat real quick. But this is where we're gonna leave it. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out with me. Please, if you enjoyed the video, take a moment to leave a like, leave a comment about your thoughts, any concerns, any tips you got, maybe some suggestions for the schedule names, and I will see you. We're going to just make sure we save. Yes. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.